Today's guest is Erick Thompson. Erick is the creator of 50, a trail running documentary about his first ultra marathon, a 50 miler completed on the historic HBC Heritage Trail. I know Erick from our days working in live television together many years ago on Vancouver Island. It's great that we get to reconnect all these years later in the trail running community. Erick, thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here, especially because I was listening to your podcast during a training run yesterday. So now I feel like I've put myself inside of do we call it a radio? I guess we call it an iPod.
That's right. Yeah, wherever we are, you're in it. So
Yeah,
that's
it's kind
good.
of neat.
I appreciate you taking the time to listen. That's fantastic. I'm super excited to talk to you today. I think we've all sort of made a video of some type when we're out there running, but none of us make something where we produce it quite like you did. And you've done this 50-mile run where you produced a really well done video too, which was really cool. Before we chat about that though, tell us about the HBC Heritage Trail. Why did you pick that? What does it mean to you?
Well, my history with the HBC Trail goes back to 2015. The Okanagan-Similkameen Park Society, which is a really important group in this region, they raise money to protect certain areas and to provide money to also do upkeep and trail maintenance and that kind of thing. One of the meetings I went to, they talked about this HBC Trail, and I thought that sounds great, but it's really long. It's a preserved section that's 74 kilometers. So I thought, I don't think I'm going to be able to go and do the whole trail. So I'll start with sections. And then my wife and I went and hiked it. And then I thought I'm going to make a short documentary and hike it again. So I did that with camera gear. It was a lot of work and very difficult. And then there's a trail run on it, the HBC Brigade Trail Run. You know, I was doing 21K trail runs here and there, just a couple of them. And I did okay. I wasn't last. And after that, I thought, I want to make another documentary and I want to make it about this trail. So now I'm really going to get this 30K down right. And my wife said, 30K, you sure you want to do the 30K? Because it was a 30K and a 50K that they did, 19 miles or 50 miles. I said, so to do this film, I have to run the 50 miler. And she said, yeah, you probably should. I don't know if I said K or got them mixed up, but 50 miles is what it is.
Yep, 50 miles.
And it was, again, way out of my comfort zone. I said, I'm going to do it. You're right. If I'm going to make a film about trail running, it's got to go all in. So I did. I trained for it, and that's a whole other story, but it worked out. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's it. Well, it's kind of fun too because you sort of got to grow while you learned and experienced this trail, that you kind of grew with it, and the video kind of sounds like it came together naturally.
One of the first things that you have to do in this run is cross the Tulameen River. It's dark, your feet are going to get wet, and it's sort of like breaking the ice, so to speak.
You go from choosing this, you know that you have access to yourself. So that's probably a great place to start, is sort of as being able to feature yourself. You know, you can document the whole journey. You had some crew help, but how does that work from deciding I'm going to do this and then producing and showing a video to all of us on YouTube? What goes on in between there?
I have to find a way to train for a 50 miler, which is way out of my comfort zone. And a long time ago, I had said, I don't want to do any kind of long running. I was, I thought I would just focus on shorter runs because I always thought long running is hard on your legs and stuff. And then I just, as you know, you get the bug. And then whatever you thought before was wrong. Now this is
exactly. Yeah.
Long is great. Trails are great. So I had to start training, and I found a number of ways to do that. And then I had to start producing this film. And that really is my background, is film and television. So combining the two was really neat, because the film, knowing I was going to make the film, really motivated me to run and train properly. Because I can, you've trained for something and maybe it doesn't work out. I'll try next time. But in this case, I was bringing together people who were going to be recording this and putting their time in. So I had to do it right. So the two really interacted well. And finding the crew was easy because they were friends. And I got a bit of a budget, so I was able to give each of them an honorarium. And then on the day, I was able to just step back, do the run. I had someone to run with who was a pro, which was great, Matt Fortuna. And then the guys who were shooting it were also pros, and they just took over and they did it. We had drone operators and camera operators. Wells Gates from CTV, Vancouver Island, came and joined us. And I mean, when he came, I thought, that's it. We've got the full meal deal now.
We're rolling here.
Professional news guy. We've got a professional film guy. We got professional drone people. Like one of the guys is from Hummingbird Drones, and they are advancing the technology of drones. So we had the dream team, and in the end, it was like, that was like summer camp. I was thanking these guys profusely, saying, I can't believe you guys all came together. And, it was like an 18 or 20-hour day. And they said, no, it was actually really fun. It was like camaraderie, and it was like summer camp.
A day on the trails always sort of brings you together in a unique way. And then when you have a project to bring you even closer, that's really cool that you got to share that with everyone. And it sounds like they were all buying in. That's really fun.
Well, even the music, I, through a friend, connected with a guy named Jeremy Breaks, who plays in the touring band with Dallas Smith, the country artist who used to be in Default. So
Okay, very
Jeremy's
cool.
this super talented guy who's getting more and more into scoring for films and television. And he was gung ho, same thing, gave him the same honorarium I gave the other guys. And he just owned it.
A score makes all the difference too. Like
Yeah.
It's a beautiful documentary that you've made. It's really fun to watch. I know you had
Thanks.
we were talking very quickly off recording there, and you highlighted the question, what was the most challenging? So why don't you tell us about that?
Okay, well, anyone who's listening or watching, because I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel, if you look at the elevation relief of the HBC trail, there's a lot of elevation gain. You go up and you go down a fair amount. And that's what makes this a really challenging run. So on the way out, when you're heading toward Hope, you're basically toward the end of your run. And now it's dark and it's raining and it's foggy and visibility is poor. And you have to climb 2K up Manson's Ridge. And it's really hard to describe how sketchy that hill is in the daytime. Then you get to the top and now you've got to descend. I did a short version of that film for a festival. And
Yeah.
I said that if I got that wrong, I would probably be either badly injured or die. And I thought, was that too dramatic? No, because if you smash your head on a rock, you can die.
You can die.
And so Matt Fortuna, who, for people who don't know, he's the guy who came running with me. He finished third in 2017 in the Fat Dog 120. He did it in 29 hours. By the end of this run, like, he's not going at full capacity. He's going at my speed, filmmaking speed, inexperienced guy speed. But when we're dropping down Manson's Ridge, he's ready to go. He's the horse who's ready to get back to the stable.
Yeah.
So he's picking up his pace a bit, but we've both got our headlamps on. And if we're closer together, it's a lot easier to see. So he was starting to pull away from me. So I just had to do my best to not fall and not bail. And he was really nice about waiting for me.
A huge thank you to Erick for being my guest today. Of course, I thank everyone for listening. And until next time, I'm Adam Lee, and this has been Ultrapostie Thoughts in My Head. Awesome. Thanks, Erick.
That was great. Thank you.
It goes so fast.
I know it does. And I knew it was 10 minutes. I was thinking I'm probably talking too much, but I
No,
think,
not at all.
yeah.
That's the whole thing. But I know that you definitely have a good internal clock because of television. So you're probably very aware of how fast it goes by.
I have a weird example, and I would never compare myself to the impressionist artist Claude Monet, but because I dabble at painting a little bit. But he would paint the same subject over and over and over again, different seasons and that kind of thing, like the poplars. And I felt like this is my little art project where I'm just going to keep doing stuff on this trail because I love this trail. It's a really interesting trail. It goes through the Okanagan climate in outside of Princeton to the coast outside of Hope.